So at the before independence, of course, the British had set up some sort of higher education system, but it was intended mostly to build bureaucrats for the civil servants. And then after independence, we did recognize the importance of science. I think we went about it wrong. We set up a bunch of elite institutions with uh, no connection to the people, no connection to universities, where really education and science should happen. So it was completely disconnected. Somewhere along the way, we adopted a neoliberal consensus where we think that the government should not do anything that's not profit making, or rather that all public services should be profit making. And so we've now set up a bunch of elite private institutions, or perhaps not so elite private institutions. Actually, in some ways, I actually sympathize with the UGC because there's so many places that have such horrible governance that I know how difficult it must be to try to ensure quality over the whole system. Of course, this is not the way to do it, and we see that. But anyway, so what I wanted to emphasize is really the importance of doing basic academics. I'm not going to say science because I think that it's important to do basic research in everything, whether it's social sciences, history, geography, art history, whatever it is. It's important that we learn more about the universe and the world around us. So really, when I say science is important, that's what I mean. I mean it's a shortcut. It's shorthand for saying that all academics are important, and we need to ensure that people are able to learn more. And so this is what we need. It was, as I said, the founders did understand that science was important. Again, I think they went about it in the wrong way, but they did at least understand that. And perhaps even now, perhaps people do understand that science is important, but they expect much of the money to come from investors, from private companies, because because the understanding or the comprehension is that uh, is that science or research is really only a vehicle for employing people or for starting big companies. There's not an understanding that academics is important in and of itself. And so what I think that the role of an academic environment is not so much that you expect great innovations to come from those places, but rather we teach people how to think. You set up an environment where people are free to think of new things, where people are free to explore their passions, and that's what an environment is. So the innovators of tomorrow, they should come from academic institutions, but you have to invest in them. An investment in education, an investment in research is really an investment in the nation, and we should not depend on Geo University or Ashoka University or places like this. Fine, you have these places. Let them cater to their elite, but you need to have a place where people can go, where it's shown that research is encouraged, that free thinking is encouraged, and that I think is something that is part has to be part of the March for Science. Part of the March for Science is understanding that you need to have people thinking freely. Now, as far as practical stuff, part of it you have to put more money into research. Part of it is you have to understand that doing astrophysics is not the same as laying roads. Different things are involved. You have to understand that when scientists do things, you may not get what you expect. All of this has to be understood. But really, this is what we need And we see the effects on. I hate to bring this up, but we see the effects on China. China, when 20 years ago, China was nowhere scientifically. Most of the stuff that would come out of China was absolute junk. They would they would plagiarize things and so on. But they've invested in science for their own purposes. They've invested in science for the last 20 years. And if you look at their space program, they're doing amazing things. And so this, I think, is what we need to understand as a nation and as a set of policies. That investment in academics will lead to prosperity. Will have much greater benefits than will have much greater knockdown benefits than just the money itself. So let me stop there.
Thank you, sir.